The sun barely shone through the dusty skies of the alien training ground. Towering structures of metal and stone surrounded the field, glowing faintly with strange energy. Humans and aliens stood on opposite sides, the tension thick in the air. The aliens were massive, each one at least twice the height of a human, their muscles bulging and shining under the dim light. They walked with heavy steps that shook the ground, heads held high, confident and mocking. The humans, smaller and leaner, glanced at one another nervously. Whispers floated through their ranks. "They're too strong. There's no way." But one human soldier remained still, calm, his gaze steady. His uniform was simple, nothing like the advanced armor of the aliens, yet there was a quiet strength in him, an unshakable confidence. The aliens laughed. It started as a low rumble, then grew into a chorus of mocking roars. "Look at these weaklings," one sneered. "Do they even lift anything heavier than a rock?" Another bent down to examine a human soldier's arms, shaking his head in disbelief. Pathetic. The calm human did not flinch. He stood straight, letting the laughter wash over him without a word. He watched the aliens carefully, his mind observing their movements, the way their muscles flexed, the way they carried themselves. He knew the aliens underestimated humans, and he intended to prove them wrong. Then the alien captain stepped forward. His armor gleamed with polished metal, and his enormous frame blocked the sunlight. His eyes scanned the humans like a predator examining prey. He raised a massive claw and pointed at the humans. "Earthlings," he said, his voice echoing across the battlefield, "show us your strength or leave in shame." A hush fell. Even the wind seemed to pause. Every human froze in place. The captain's challenge was not just a test, it was a dare. The alien soldiers shifted, some smirking, others whispering bets among themselves. "There won't even lift the chair," they laughed. "They are weak, useless." The calm human soldier stepped forward. He didn't rush, didn't yell or strike a pose. He simply moved with steady steps, each footfall soft but determined. The humans behind him held their breath, unsure whether he could meet the impossible. The aliens leaned in, curiosity mixing with amusement. They had no reason to expect anything extraordinary. The captain's eyes narrowed. "Step forward, human," he said, his tone sharp. "Show me your strength." The soldier stopped a few meters away, hands at his sides, muscles relaxed but ready. A faint smile touched his lips, barely noticeable. Time seemed to stretch. The battlefield was silent except for distant hums and the occasional shuffle of alien armor. Viewers might feel their hearts race, wondering, could this average-looking human really stand against these giants? Could he do what no one else dared attempt? And then all eyes focused on him, a simple human soldier, calm and confident, facing the might of an alien captain. The air vibrated with anticipation. Every alien breath held, every human pulse quickened. The moment had arrived, the moment that would test everything they thought they knew about strength. The humans hesitated, unsure where to begin. They looked at the towering aliens and the massive equipment scattered across the field. Slowly, one by one, they attempted small feats. Some lifted heavy rocks, their arms straining, muscles trembling. Others pushed alien machinery that looked impossibly heavy for humans. The aliens watched with amusement. Laughter rolled across the battlefield, deep and mocking. "Pathetic," one growled. "Even the smallest rock seems too heavy for them."
Another alien snorted, shaking his head. Look at their efforts. They fail before they even begin. The humans tried again, but the wait was impossible. Whispers ran through their ranks. "We can't do it. It's useless," one murmured. Fear and doubt filled the air. But the calm human soldier observed quietly. He did not attempt the machines or rocks at first. Instead, he watched the captain, studying every movement, every twitch, every detail of his stance. Then he noticed something, a small limp, a slight favoring of one leg, and a hint of tension in the shoulders. The captain's arrogance made him careless. He had never faced a human who could challenge him. The human's eyes narrowed. He realized he had a chance, not just to compete, but to shock these creatures. He straightened his back, adjusted his stance, and slowly stepped forward. The murmurs among humans grew louder. "No, don't! It's impossible," they said. Yet he moved with calm certainty. The aliens noticed him, too. Their laughter sharpened into sneers. "Step up, human. Show us how weak you really are." Another bared his teeth in a mocking grin. "You will embarrass yourself in front of your friends or leave crawling home." The human soldier ignored them. His eyes were fixed on the captain, unwavering and focused. The camera of the mind's eye would linger on his determined gaze, the way it cut through fear, doubt, and mockery. Every alien soldier leaned closer, sensing the tension, curious what this one human could do. Whispers turned into anxious silence. The humans behind him held their breath. Even those who had doubted him felt a spark of hope. Could he actually do what none of them dared try? With slow, deliberate steps, the human approached the captain's chair. Every movement seemed calculated, every action precise. The aliens tensed. Some crossed their arms, ready to laugh at failure. Others, though unwilling to admit it, were curious to see if the human had more courage and more strength than anyone imagined. Then the human reached the chair. He gripped it firmly with both hands. The metal and alien design felt heavy, awkward, and designed to intimidate any ordinary human. His muscles flexed beneath his uniform, and his calm breathing showed no fear. All eyes were on him. The battlefield was silent except for distant hums and the soft wind. The aliens waited, ready to witness failure. The humans watched, hearts pounding, silently praying. And there he stood, hands on the captain's chair, legs steady, shoulders squared. Something was about to happen that no one could predict. The tension hung in the air, thick and electric. The camera zoomed in on his eyes, focused, unyielding, and then, with a subtle shift of weight, he prepared to lift. No one, not alien nor human, could guess what would happen next. The human soldier bent his knees slowly, feeling the weight of the moment settle on his shoulders. His hands gripped the alien captain's massive chair, knuckles white with strain. The air seemed heavier here, thick with anticipation, the entire battlefield holding its breath. Every alien eye was fixed on him, some sneering, others wide with disbelief. Every human behind him watched silently, hearts racing, unsure if he could do the impossible. He inhaled deeply, centering himself. His muscles tensed, his legs rooted to the ground like steel pillars. Then, in one sudden explosive motion, he lifted. The alien captain rose from the ground effortlessly, his eyes widening in shock. For a brief moment, time seemed to slow. The massive muscles that had intimidated everyone, the arrogance that had filled the captain's every movement, none of it mattered against this human strength. He hung in the air, held aloft by a soldier they had all underestimated. A gasp rose from the alien bystanders. Some staggered back, tripping over rocks or shuffling hurriedly out of the way. Their jaws dropped, disbelief written clearly across their faces. Even those who had mocked humanity moments ago could not hide the shock. The captain flailed slightly, struggling against the human's grip, but the soldier's hold was firm, controlled, and unwavering. The human's face glistened with sweat, muscles bulging under the effort, yet he remained calm. Every movement showed control, every strained breath spoke of determination and focus. It was not just raw power, it was precision, courage, and resilience. The battlefield seemed to hum with energy as alien and human alike realized something extraordinary was unfolding. Close-ups of alien faces told the story more clearly than words ever could. One alien turned pale, eyes wide in fear. Another clenched his fists, not in aggression, but in awe, finally understanding that humans were not weak. The third, the youngest of the aliens, whispered in disbelief to his neighbor, I never knew they could do that." The captain's face was a mix of fear and disbelief. His pride, once untouchable, was shaken to its core. He had always thought humans were small, weak, unworthy of respect, but now he hung in midair, staring directly at the very thing he had dismissed. The humans behind their soldier felt a surge of pride. The whispering fear turned into admiration. They saw what their comrade could do, and it gave them hope, courage, and awe. They realized humans were not just physically weaker, they had something more: grit, determination, and a fire that could defy expectations. The tension reached its peak. Could he hold on long enough? Could he complete the impossible without faltering? Every second stretched like an eternity, every eye on the battlefield locked on him. The answer hung in the air, electric and suspenseful, as the human soldier maintained his grip, the alien captain suspended above the ground, and the world seemed to watch in stunned silence. This was the moment every human and alien would remember forever, the moment when one human proved that strength was not measured by size alone. The battlefield fell silent. The dust floated gently in the air, disturbed only by the heavy breathing of humans and aliens alike. The human soldier lowered the alien captain carefully, muscles still flexed, sweat running down his face, but his movements calm and controlled. The alien captain's massive feet touched the ground with a soft thud, and for a moment no one moved, no one spoke. The alien captain's eyes, wide of disbelief a moment ago, now narrowed slightly, not in anger, but in awe. His chest rose and fell as he recovered from the shock. Slowly, carefully, he raised a massive claw and nodded at the human. "Earthlings," he said, his voice low but steady. "Stronger than we thought." A murmur ran through the alien soldiers. Some of them looked around, unsure if they had just witnessed reality or a trick of the eyes. Their leader, the captain, had been lifted effortlessly. It challenged everything they believed about humans. One by one, they began to smile, not in mockery, but in admiration. A quiet cheer started to ripple through their ranks, small at first, then louder. The aliens who doubted humans, who had laughed at their size and weakness, now reconsidered everything. The human soldier's fellow comrades stepped forward cautiously, faces bright with pride and relief. Some clapped their hands softly, others whispered words of encouragement, their eyes shining with admiration for their brave comrade. It was not just his physical strength that impressed them, it was his courage, his determination, and his refusal to bow to intimidation. The calm human soldier wiped sweat from his brow, standing tall despite the exhaustion that pulled at his limbs. He looked at the aliens, and for the first time he saw respect in their eyes, not fear, not mockery, but respect. He had shown them that humans were not weak, that humans could rise to challenges even when all the odds were against them. The alien captain straightened, towering over the battlefield, but there was humility in his posture now. "You have our respect," he said, his deep voice carrying across the field. "Perhaps we have judged humans too harshly. Perhaps we have been too arrogant." His words echoed, sending ripples of understanding through the alien soldiers. Some aliens stepped forward, curious, cautious, and for the first time Friendly gestures replaced hostility. One offered a hand to the nearest human soldier, a silent acknowledgement of newfound respect. Another tilted his head, smiling in quiet approval. The battlefield, once a place of tension and fear, was now filled with a sense of awe and mutual recognition. The humans, too, felt a shift in their hearts. They had always known their own courage, but to see it reflected in the eyes of such powerful beings was a rare and humbling moment. Pride filled their chests, not arrogance, but quiet pride. They had earned respect through strength, yes, but more importantly, through courage, determination, and the refusal to be underestimated. The camera might linger on the human soldier's face, calm, yet glowing with satisfaction. Around him, both humans and aliens shared a moment of silent understanding. The message was clear: never underestimate the Earthling.
The alien captain stepped forward, his massive frame towering over the humans, but his posture was no longer intimidating. There was a calm authority in his movements, a quiet respect that had not been there before. "Earthlings," he said, his voice steady, "join us in training. Let us learn from one another." The humans exchanged surprised glances. No longer mocked, no longer underestimated, they were now being invited to share their skills and knowledge. A cautious excitement ran through them as they stepped forward. The alien soldiers, once so arrogant, now nodded in acknowledgement, some offering gestures of cooperation. The human soldier who had lifted the captain stood slightly apart, observing. His muscles were still tired from the feat, sweat streaking his uniform, but his heart was steady. He had proved something not just to the aliens, but to every human watching. He had shown that courage and determination could overcome size and strength, that humans were more than what they seemed. Training began. Humans and aliens worked side by side, lifting, running, strategizing, and learning from one another. Humans demonstrated strength in ways the aliens had never considered, not just physical power, but courage under pressure, quick thinking, and teamwork. One human figured out a way to move alien machinery more efficiently. Another guided a team in a complex exercise, combining strategy and strength. The aliens began to see that human potential was vast and unpredictable. The protagonist moved quietly through the training grounds, helping where he could, observing, learning, and teaching. He didn't seek attention, yet every alien soldier and human participant noticed him. He had become a symbol, a quiet emblem of human resilience and potential. Others looked to him not because he demanded respect, but because he had earned it through action, courage, and composure. The alien captain approached him again, this time with a small, respectful nod. "You have shown us the true measure of your kind. Strength is not just in muscle, but in heart and mind. We underestimated you, all of you." The human soldier smiled faintly, letting the words settle, knowing this was just the beginning. As the day ended, the camera might pull back for a wide cinematic shot. Humans and aliens training together, moving through coordinated exercises, lifting and running, laughing and learning. Dust rose from the ground, catching the sunlight in golden streaks. The scene spoke of something larger than individual strength, cooperation, mutual respect, and the quiet rise of humanity among the stars. In the center of it all, the human soldier paused, looking around at both his comrades and the aliens. There was pride, yes, but also humility. He had proved a point, yet he knew this was just one moment in a long story of humans carving their place in the universe.
The camera lingered on his face, then pulled back further, showing humans and aliens training together, a future of possibilities stretching across the horizon. And then, in a voice calm but resolute, the final line echoed across the battlefield. Never underestimate the Earthling.